Hey guys, so this is a tip for Ramona, but again, I want to mention that there is the other two infographic, which is for Willow's Euphoria and Tuesday Euphoria, and the full rotation for Ramona, Tuesday, and Willow's rotation is in Tuesday's Euphoria video, okay? But some of the tips here is actually applicable for the rotation. So the rotation there is like summarized, and some of the reason is actually here in this video. Tips 1, the core teammate for Ramona is Tuesday. So make sure to have Tuesday in the team. Other poison unit, especially Willow, and in certain situation, Ezio, are good teammate for Ramona. So you at least want to have them, one of them as well. Ezio is more conditional, okay? He will not be playing as the main DPS here. So the better unit to have is actually Willow. Alright, tips 2, use S1 to rewrite one more card with Possess in the next round. So use S1 in this round, but only next round you will have one more card that will be Possessed, okay? And here the tips is do this when using Tuesday's ultimate. That's because let's say the turn you use Tuesday ultimate, that is when the array has, where the duration is at 3 rounds. So here you use S1, then you will get Possessed in the next round. That is when Tuesday array is currently having only 2 more rounds. Okay, you have 3 cards with Possess. So if you use all 3 cards with Possess, you will get 3 Spirit Repellent. Then in the next round, which is the final round of Tuesday array, you will have another 2 cards that is Possessed. So you're using this 2 cards, you will use total of 5 cards with Possess, meaning that you will be inflicting 5 Spirit Repellent on the enemy. And that will resolve all the poison 5 times, dealing a tremendous amount of damage. Okay, so here you can see the image below. Use S1 to rewrite when you're using Tuesday's ultimate. Then 3 stacks of Spirit Repellent when you use 3 cards with Possess. And finally 2 more cards with Possess for 5 Spirit Repellent. For tips 4, Expellent lasts for 2 rounds. Tuesday array can prolong its duration. Using her ultimate a round before Tuesday's ultimate will allow Expellent to last for a total of 4 rounds before Tuesday's array expired. So this will give Expellent 100% increase in damage during the final round of Tuesday's array. Tips 5, Expellent potential max when it converts 6 poison stacks. If you use your ultimate when there's only 2 or 3 poison stack, then Expellent's damage will be halved. Okay, so each stack is 50% of attack as damage. So if you convert 6 stacks, so Expellent will do 300% attack as damage. And because it is converting quite a large amount of poison, so use it at the end of the spell queue so that you can inflict more poison before using the ultimate. So tip 6 is Ramona with Willow. So since Ramona's ultimate will trigger Willow Insight to inflict poison, use Willow's S1 after Ramona's ultimate. So here the example is like you use Tuesday's ultimate that will inflict poison and trigger Willow's passive to inflict more poison. So you should have at least 6 poison for Ramona's ultimate to convert all of it into Expellent. And when you are using Ramona's ultimate, it will then trigger Willow passive again to inflict 2 more poison. So hopefully there are a few more poison before that is inflicted. So now when you use Willow S1, you should have enough poison to convert as well. So if both of them are at P0, using the ultimate, Ramona's ultimate consumes 6, and using Willow's S1 consume 3. So you need at least 9 poison stack to do that. Do remember using Willow's cards do not trigger the passive of Willow to inflict poison. Okay? Tip 7, use Willow's S2 after Ramona's S2, as Willow S2 consume poison. So when you use Ramona's S2 to trigger or resolve all the poison, but now the poison has been consumed. And hence Ramona's S2 will do a little bit lesser damage. However, if you are using a rank 2 or 3 Ramona's S2, you want to do it after, especially if Willow has not been channeling for a very long time. That's because Hexbane damage increases when it is triggered multiple times. So you want to use Willow S2 to resolve it 2 times at least. So that will bring it maybe to having being resolved for maybe 3 or 4 times. Then you use Ramona's rank 2 or rank 3 S2, because the S2 at rank 2 deals 25% more damage, so it's 125%, while at rank 3 is 160%. Okay, so yeah, you want Hexbane to be at higher damage output by the time you use it. And tips 8, Expellant is strongest at the last round of Tuesday Array, so trigger it as many times as possible during the last round. So here I compiled a list of what can trigger poison. So first of all, about Hexbane. Compounding effect maximum is 4 times, so you want to resolve Hexbane at least 4 times. So if Willow is in channeling status, when she is channeling, it is considered that Hexbane has been resolved multiple times. So how many times exactly is based on the duration the channel has been active. So it's 1 plus the number of round elapsed in this channeling status. So if you look into the picture on the right side, if you can see that symbol on top of Willow, the red colored one, it shows a number 5. This means that it has elapsed for 5 rounds. So means Hexbane has been considered to be resolved for 1 plus 5 rounds. But maximum is 4 rounds. So which means if you have the number up at 3, okay, 3, 4, or 5, Hexbane should already be considered as having triggered at least 4 times. So triggering Hexbane any more times will be at its maximum damage. Willow S2 also resolve Hexbane multiple times. Okay, if it's rank 1, it resolves 2 times, rank 2, 3 times, rank 3, 4 times. For resolving all poison, including Hexbane, so we can use Ramona's S2 to resolve it once, but at a higher potency of 125 or 160% of the standard poison damage at rank 2 or 3, respectively. And Ramona Spirit Repellent, trigger it once per stack, maximum is 6 stacks. Okay, if you are at P0 Ramona, it's very difficult to get all 6 stacks, so I would suggest 5 stacks based on the rotation that I've shared in Tuesday Euphoria infographics. Okay, if it's P1, you can easily hit this 6 stacks because each possess inflict 2 spirit repellent instead of 1. Tuesday Array, resolve it once at the start of the enemy round. And Tuesday Array, resolve it once when it ends. So when it's end, boom, all the poison will resolve, will be consumed to do a huge load of damage. And finally as well, if Tuesday Array did not end, at the end of the round, the poison will actually trigger 1 more time because that is the natural resolve of poison every round. But if Tuesday Array end, then you have no poison left because everything has been consumed. So poison will not resolve during that round. But, when it ends, it already detonate everything and resolve everything. So kind of like the same. Finally, tips 9, Ramona with Ezio. This is a little bit conditional because it will work only if the fight has minions that will die and respawn and you have 1 main boss. Okay, 1 main boss with minion. If you have minion that dies but doesn't go away, it doesn't really die. It's just like, it stay dormant for a while. So it doesn't really leave the battlefield. So that one is not suitable. Okay, so again, you want minion that dies and respawn. Then you use Ezio 3-3 because 3-3 will allow you to transfer all the poison onto one enemy. So if you use Ramona's ultimate, it will inflict expellent on all the enemies. So let's say there's 3 enemy, 2 is minion. So now both of these minion is killed. They will then transfer both this expellent onto one enemy. So now you have 3 expellent on the enemy. If you have been doing the rotation as I recommended, then you will be doing 2 of Ramona's ultimate within one Tuesday's array. So in that case, if both time you can kill the minions, they will transfer, you end up having 6 expellent on the main boss. And that will do a lot of damage. But this also means that Ramona is the main unit that you want to rotate through a cycle as much as you can. Ezio, you just need it for the passive. Because if you go into counter status and then Ezio riposte, he actually is going to inflict only 1 poison, right? The usual Ezio poison team, you are using either 3-1 or 3-2 because it can inflict 2 or 3 poison. So you will then, do more and more damage. But 3-3, the riposte only do 1 poison. So it's not that significant compared to the expellent poison from Ramona. Okay, so he is more like a sub DPS in this setup. So alright, that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching and have a good day.